We just talked about the fighting above and the data rebellion below. Next, we need to look at the specific swordplay and bloodshed. Right at the same time as Zhang Yusha's missing persons data was released, the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, CCDI, wasn't idle either. They quietly but ruthlessly put a knife to someone's neck. On January 19th, the official bulletin, Gu Jun, former general manager of China National Nuclear Corporation, CNNC, is suspected of serious violations of discipline and law and is under investigation. Many people see this and think, oh, another corrupt official caught. Nuclear industry has lots of money, normal. But friends, when reading the news, we need to learn to connect the dots. Gu Jun's fall is absolutely not an isolated anti-corruption case. This is a precise political hunt. It's a ruthless skirt-trimming tactic. What is skirt trimming? If I want to take down a big boss, I don't go straight at him. I first cleanly cut away his secretary, driver, old subordinates, money bags, one by one, turning him into a lone commander, and only then do I finish him off. So whose skirt edge is Gu Jun? Let's dig into Gu Jun's resume deeply. You'll discover 3 huge mountains behind him, each scarier than the last. How are they connected? Look at the timeline. From 2004 to 2007, where was Tai Chi? He was party secretary of Taizhou, Zhejiang. At that time, where was Gu Jun? He was Deputy Director General and Deputy General Manager of the Preparatory Office for the Sanmen Nuclear Power Plant in Taizhou. Everyone knows that in China, building a nuclear power plant, a project worth tens of billions, is something that affects everything: land acquisition, demolition, resettlement, infrastructure support. Which part doesn't need the full support of the local top leader? Gu Jun was thriving with Sanmen at the time. He even boasted that Sanmen Nuclear Power Plant built a foreign experts village with over 170 American and Japanese experts living there, complete with swimming pools and gyms. It was quite a sight in the area. Think about it. In 2005, in Taizhou's Sanmen County, building such a high-end foreign-related community, handling food, drink, waste, and security for 170 foreigners, could Gu Jun have done it without Tsai Chi's special approval and full support? The Taizhou official who coordinated with Gu Jun back then was Zhang Ruomin, director of the Municipal Economic and Trade Commission, Tsai Chi's ironclad loyalist. To push this project, could Gu Jun have avoided drinking sessions and dinners with Tsai Chi, Zhang Ruomin, and others? Could there have been no exchange of interests? Now investigating Gu Jun isn't just about his later affairs. The focus is to dig up old accounts from his Taizhou period. Once those are dug up, sparks are bound to splash onto Tsai Chi's backside. This is exactly Xiang Zhuang performs the sword dance, but his intention is aimed at Liu Bang. A classical illusion. The real target is the big boss. Second mountain, Ding Shuishang and Miao Hua. This involves geopolitics. Gu Jun is from Qidong, Nantong, Jiangsu. Ding Shuishang is from Nantong. The recently fallen CMC member Miao Hua is also from Nantong, often described as Nantong Native General. Even Wu Bangguo's former chief secretary Guo Yuncheng is from Qidong. This is the famous Nantong Gang in CCP officialdom. Lately, Nantong origin officials have been falling in a line. Gu Jun's case is another purge of the Nantong Gang. The blade points straight at Ding Shuishang's wings. Third mountain, the even older power, the Li Peng family's electricity/power system. Before joining CNNC, Gu Jun was general manager of the State Nuclear Power Technology Corporation. His superior there, the chairman, was Wang Binghua. Everyone in this circle knows Wang Binghua was Li Shaolin's stand-in, the Li Peng family's agent in the electricity industry. Gu Jun held that position for so many years. His entanglements with the Li family's interests in electricity are impossible to untangle. So, do you see it now? Catching Gu Jun looks like catching a technical bureaucrat in nuclear power, but in reality, this one slash simultaneously cuts toward Cai Chi's original power base, Ding Shuishang's hometown network, and the old nest of the princelings. This is real hand-to-hand combat.
This is very interesting. Since we previously speculated that releasing the population data was the anti-Xi faction giving Xi Jinping a slap in the face, then who is wielding the knife to catch Gu Jun now? If it's Xi Jinping doing the catching, then he's warning Cai Chi and Ding Shuishang these two dogs aren't obedient anymore. Or it's to balance power and prevent his close aides from growing too big. If it's the anti-Xi faction pushing behind the scenes, then they're cutting off Xi Jinping's left and right arms, turning him into a lonely man among the Politburo Standing Committee. Either way, it shows one thing. The meat grinder inside Zhongnan High is now running at full speed. Blood and flesh are flying everywhere.
After talking about the chill in Beijing, let's shift south across the strait to Taiwan. Something big happened there recently, something the CCP should love to watch as chaos. But this time, Beijing was unusually quiet like a child who did something wrong. What happened? Taiwan's legislative yuan is pushing to impeach President Lai Ching-te. In the past, if this happened, the Taiwan Affairs Office would jump for joy. According to the old script, 3 press releases a day cursing Lai Ching-te for going against the trend, losing popular support, wishing the whole country knew about the chaos of democracy to prove Taiwan's system doesn't work. But this time, it's extremely abnormal. Let's line up the timeline, you'll see the trick. It started on December 19th last year. Taiwan's KMT and TPP jointly held a press conference, officially announcing a proposal to impeach Lai Ching-te. Online petitions exploded. Reportedly, over 8 million people participated. Normally, CCTV's Xin Wen Lenbo would loop this non-stop. But guess how the Taiwan Affairs Office reacted? December 24th, first response at a routine press conference, a CCTV reporter from Riye Tantian asked, "Heard the opposition parties want to impeach Lai Ching-te with over 8 million signatures. What do you think?" Spokesperson Peng Ching-en said blandly, "We have noticed the relevant reports." Then, nothing. He completely avoided mentioning the impeachment procedure itself, switched to the old record and started reciting, "Lai Ching-te's authorities disregard people's livelihood, seek political self-interest, engage in political vicious fighting, create green terror." He framed it as political vicious fighting, not democratic oversight. Then, December 26th, Legislative Yuan voted to start the impeachment review process, a substantial step. December 31st press conference, another reporter asked, this time spokesperson Zhang Han, same formula, same taste. Zhang Han cursed Lai again for stubbornly clinging to Taiwan independent separatist stance, going against the will of the people, inevitably facing opposition, but stubbornly refused to touch the word impeachment. After that, entering 2026, Taiwan's public hearings and sessions were in full swing, front-page headlines every day. But check the Taiwan Affairs Office again, January 7th and January 14th releases. The word impeachment completely disappeared. It's like taboo, as if the word is poisonous. Why? Isn't the CCP the one who hates Lai Ching-te the most? Why not loudly cheer when he suffers? Why give up such a huge chance to mock Taiwan? Because Chinese netizens are too clever. What the CCP fears isn't Lai Ching-te, it's the word impeachment and the associations it triggers. Although many comments were censored, I still found some that slipped through. Listen to these, their peak level of pointing at the mulberry while cursing the locust, indirect criticism. One netizen, this old lie at his age, ignorant and dictatorial, clinging to power for too long, causing people's misery, he'll surely become a sinner of history. Another, clinging to high position without stepping down, economy in shambles, fewer and fewer international friends, about to become a loner, why won't he get lost? Another, clinging to the position, dictatorial, won't get off at the station. The sharpest, waves of popular opposition one after another, hope he sees reality and steps down soon, giving compatriots a peaceful and prosperous environment. Someone even summed up the character of the year. Lie, meaning to cling or rely on shamelessly, is unbeatable. Friends, listen carefully. Is this talking about Lai Ching-te? Lai has only been in power for less than 2 years. Where's the clinging for too long? Where's the won't get off at the station? Every word, every curse aimed at Taipei is actually precision-guided straight at the one in Beijing's Zhongnan High. That's why the Taiwan Affairs Office played dead and cold-shouldered the impeachment case. They fear Chinese people seeing, oh, across the strait, no matter how much power you have, if you do badly, if you go against the people's will, the people and parliament can use legal procedures to legitimately make you step down. Such associations, for a regime that just amended the Constitution to remove term limits, shouting supreme authority every day, are more terrifying than an atomic bomb. So even if Lai Ching-te is cursed to hell, Beijing dares not make a sound, because every brick thrown at Lai will bounce back and shatter Zhong Manghai's own windows. This has become a demon-revealing mirror, showing how weak and fearful this seemingly powerful regime is deep down.
Friends, today's content is a lot, but I want to tell everyone, don't be blinded by the rumors flying everywhere. Every single one of these events points to one fact. The game of power has entered its most brutal final stage. Don't rush to believe who wins or loses. Back when Hua Guofeng stepped down, it took 2.5 years of tug-of-war before the dust settled. The current situation is 100 times more complex. In this darkest, most chaotic moment before dawn, Zhang Feng will stay right here, watching the storms inside the red walls, helping you hear the unspoken truths. If you think today's episode quenched your thirst, helped you see a bit of direction in this chaotic world, then please give a like, subscribe to the channel, and forward it to your friends. Let's huddle together for warmth and watch quietly. I'm Zhang Feng. See you next episode. Friends, welcome back to Zhang Feng Vision. The news on January 20th, 2026 was truly explosive. We have to talk about it thoroughly. Early that morning, the Central Party School held a seminar for major provincial and ministerial leaders, the annual opening show where Xi Jinping personally lectures. The audience? All the feudal governors, provincial bosses. But at this critical moment, one of the most important faces was missing from the audience. CMC First Vice Chairman Zhang Yusha. His absence caused an instant explosion on overseas social media. Zhang Yusha is in trouble. Father and son both arrested. Xi's army wins big. But it didn't stop there. Right after, the National Bureau of Statistics dropped a nuclear bomb. 2025 full-year population data.
When I saw those numbers, chills ran down my back. Friends, these events on the same day, one is military high-level personnel fog, the other is ordinary people having babies, seem unrelated. But piece these fragments together and you'll see this isn't isolated incidents. This is a full-scale outbreak of rumor warfare and data warfare in Beijing. Today, we won't chase rumors blindly. We'll peel the onion layer by layer, stripping away the misty skin to see what power game is really playing out inside the red walls.
Let's start with the hottest rumor today. January 20th, Central Party School opens. Xi Jinping on stage talks about pushing reform to the end, about the fourth plenary session spirit. Normally, a CMC vice chairman must attend to hold the fort, protect and escort. But the TV sweep shows Zhang Yusha isn't there. Even Joint Staff Department head Liu Zhenli isn't there. Boom! Immediately people exploded with leaks. Self-media swore, latest, Zhang Yusha was talked to, son and confidential secretary under investigation. The once marginalized Zhang Xiaozhen is coming back. Some even listed a new CMC lineup. Sounds thrilling, right? Feels like General Secretary Xi finally taking full control, cleaning out the old guys. But friends, watching the show isn't just about the excitement. You have to see the real moves. Notice the timing. Just 3 days earlier, January 17th, on overseas opinion fields, it was the opposite scene. Rumors said a secret meeting was happening at Jingxi Hotel, even to abolish General Secretary Xi's position. They even brought up the Hua Guofeng model, vivid and detailed. Think about the flavor. On the 17th, anti-Xi faction spreads, "We're abolishing Xi." On the 20th, Xi faction immediately counters, "Zhang Yusha is caught." 3 days apart, this shows what? What we're seeing isn't simple news reporting. The two factions have torn faces and are using the opinion field as a battlefield for life and death pressure tests. Classic rumor warfare. You say I'm falling, I'll spread your protector is down. You say I'm being forced out at Jingxi Hotel, I'll show you who's lecturing at the party school. Using common sense to examine the Zhang Yusha in trouble claim. In over 70 years of CCP rule, has any sitting CMC first vice chairman, the ranked first one with real power, ever been directly arrested or taken down while in office? None. Zero precedents. Lin Biao, written into the party constitution as successor, crashed his plane, political break, not anti-corruption. Later, Shi Chai-ho and Guo Boxiong, big tigers, were only taken after retirement when their tea cooled, even after cancer. Even last year's fallen He Weidong was only ranked second vice chairman. Why? Because the first vice chairman position is too sensitive. He holds real military command power. If even he can be casually shuangguied, investigated while in office, it means the military command system is paralyzed or a real military coup happened. So Zhang Yusha's absence, don't rush to conclude he's done. This absence is more likely a political gesture. If both sides are fighting fiercely, old Zhang says, "I won't show up to cheer you on, won't appear in your lens to endorse you. What can you do to me?" This is non-violent non-cooperation, silent protest. Or while both sides are smashing cups and slamming tables in negotiations, who has the mood to go listen to scripts at the party school? I have to show you a picture. It's real evidence, circulating hot on X. Look at the comparison photo. Left, 2024 Upper General Promotion Ceremony, Zhang Yusha stands beside Xi Jinping, respectful, straight-backed, like a dutiful guard giving full face. Right, late 2025 promotion ceremony, Xi stands in front, busy issuing certificates, forcing smiles in performance. Zhang Yusha, casually sitting in the back. What does this mean?
In the CCP's ultra-hierarchical rules above all setting, the CMC chairman standing working, the vice chairman lounging in a chair watching coldly. That look says, you performed, keep performing. I'm tired, I'm not serving anymore. This is outright rebellion. So if in a globally broadcast public event he dares give Xi this soft nail, then skipping a closed-door internal party school meeting today is only natural. This isn't in trouble and arrested. This is openly, I'm not playing with you anymore. Arrogance on full display. So on Zhang Yusha's disappearance, my view, let the bullet fly a bit longer. This looks more like a stalemated tug-of-war than a one-sided massacre. Because the next evidence truly reveals Xi Jinping's current situation, definitely not a total victory. If Zhang Yusha is still rumor, then the next thing is black and white hard proof. And the National Bureau of Statistics itself swung the hammer, smashing hard on the face of the new era. On January 19th, the day before, official release, 2025 full-year population data. Hold steady and listen to this number, 7.92 million. What does this mean? Friends, regardless of political stance, as a Chinese person, this number makes your heart tighten. To make it clearer, I looked up history for comparison. Go back to last century, the most darkest time for the Chinese nation, the War of Resistance against Japan, 1937 to 1945. Planes dropping bombs overhead, ground full of killing and plundering, tens of millions displaced, half of China broken. In that era of not knowing if you'd eat the next meal, could die any time, how many births per year? Data shows, even in the hardest 1939, births were about 7.57 to 8 million. In other years, like 1941 to 1942, close to 10 million. Think about it. Wartime chaos, on the edge of national extinction, our ancestors fleeing air raids, in water-deep, fire-hot hardship, still stubbornly reproducing, still holding a shred of hope for the future. But today, look at China now. Skyscrapers everywhere, high-speed rail in all directions, streets full of electric cars, claimed as world's second economy, shouting great rejuvenation, east rising, west falling. Yet in this peaceful time, after government pushed 2-child, 3-child policies, subsidies, urging births for a decade, births have fallen to the level of the most brutal anti-Japanese war period. But that's not the deadliest. Deadlier is the total fertility rate, TFR. Population Studies' iron rule. A country's TFR needs 2.1. Each woman averages 2.1 children to stabilize the population base. Now China's? Top China population expert E. Fuxian from University of Wisconsin calculates 2025 China's TFR is only 0.97 to 0.98, not halved, ankle chopped. Even Renmin University professor Lu Jihua admits it's below 1. What level is this? We're shoulder to shoulder with the world's hardest birth countries, South Korea and Singapore. Slightly better than Korea's disastrous 0.75, but that's 50 steps laughing at 100. China is sprinting at 100 meters towards the abyss of population collapse. And the chain reaction is immediate. Same day as population data, another economic figure came, very fitting. December last year, retail sales of consumer goods grew only 0.9% year-on-year, 3-year low. See? 2 0.9s, very ironic. Fertility below 1, consumption growth below 1. Nomura economist Lu Ting said it well. Newborn decline is the main cause of weak consumption. Children are four-legged gold-swallowing beasts, super engines of consumption. No births, no milk powder, kids' clothes, early education classes, no spending. How can the economy improve? The CCP is truly anxious. Extended maternity leave, cash handouts. Heard Beijing will spend $90 billion this year on child-rearing subsidies, another $40 billion on free preschool. Even for marriage, no household registration checks, easier than ordering takeout. Some places like Shanghai and Shenzhen saw slight marriage increases, but experts say don't celebrate too soon. Young people's views have changed. Marriage is for partnering through life or getting housing tickets, separate from having kids. Like Yi Fuxian's metaphor, China's population problem is a decades-long chronic disease planted by the one-child policy. You think a few subsidies, a heavy dose, can cure it? No way. To really cure, need major surgery. Raise people's disposable income, bring down crushing high housing prices. But dare to wield that scalpel? Raising income means cutting government taxes, touching powerful vested interests. Lowering housing means bursting the real estate bubble, could trigger financial crisis, government bankruptcy. This is no surgery equals slow death, surgery equals quick death. Xi Jinping is stuck in this dead end, can't advance or retreat. And this is the core of the data war I mentioned. Think, what does 7.92 million mean for Xi Jinping? It's not just a slap, it's a mace to the face. It directly negates the legitimacy of his decade-plus rule. You spent all this time, population gone, nation's future duanfang, broken generation. What rejuvenation? If she really is supreme authority as rumored, power so absolute no one dares speak half a no, like Mao's word is law, do you think this data could be released? Impossible. During the Great Famine, tens of millions starved. Official data called it a natural disaster. If she had absolute power, one phone call to Statistics Bureau, change it to 15 million births. Who dares release 7.92 million? I'll take your official hat. But reality, this highly insulting, lethal data was publicly released. This shows what? In Zhang Nanhai's bureaucratic system, some still disobey. Or there's a force, we can call it the Seek Truth from Facts faction or the Lie Flat faction, resisting this way. There's subtext, Chairman, we want to brag for you, but the hole is too big, we can't cover it. We'll release truthfully, this is science, this is statistics. This kind of death remonstrance, this high-level black is the most fatal. Even more interesting, after releasing the data, what did the Statistics Bureau do? Division Chief Wang Pingping immediately published an article. High-quality population development continues to advance. The article is flowery. Population still huge, demographic dividend turning to talent dividend, solid foundation for high-quality development. Reading it, you can feel the awkwardness. The punctuation marks are sweating. Extreme mental split. One side, cold, brutal, face-slapping 7.92 million. Other side, cheesy, empty, praise-washing text. This split exactly proves the current state of CCP officialdom. We'll release the real data to leave ourselves a way out, avoid future purges for faking it. But we have to write the good article for current political safety, avoid getting grabbed now. This is the survival wisdom of officials inside the system, and also a tactic of the anti-Xi forces.